Welcome to Tuesday Talks with FEO. I'm Debbie Mann, and just a couple of housekeeping notes. We are recording this, so um, if you have any questions, feel free to either put them into the chat or unmute yourself and ask your questions. Our guest today is Amanda Murray from Clearview Township, and she's also our awards chair. So, Amanda, thank you, and thanks for joining us on this cold and looking like your background snowy day.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Yes, here in Clearview, we've got quite the snowstorm happening outside, but I thought I would just include a beautiful photo from last year's snowshoeing adventures up on top of the escarpment in Clearview Township.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. So, we're going to talk awards today. Woohoo! So, we're pretty excited. Awards are coming up. They're, when do they do, Amanda, again? January.
January 7th, we're going to get right into that process and the application time, definitely during today's discussion, but they're coming up on January 7th. That's the deadline.
Great. So before we get there, I would like you to talk about how you got involved with FEO.
Well, thanks, Debbie. So I have so many friendly faces on the Zoom call this morning. Feel free to turn on your camera so I can see who's all there. But I think most of you have probably seen me around at least in the last couple of years. But believe it or not, I actually started out at Festivals and Events Ontario as a student, let's say over 15 years ago, with a good mentor of mine. His name was Walt Medalinsky. He was with the City of Windsor, and I got to be a student of his. So that was really my first exposure, was with the City of Windsor and being a student. And just over the years, my career path has taken me in lots of different directions, but I've always come back to being a member and a strong supporter of FEO. And now is my position. I'm the Culture and Tourism Coordinator at Clearview Township. And I get to be involved with lots of our community events, but also the award-winning Small Halls Festival. So there's always a lot of involvement with my volunteers, sponsors, and our partners in terms of executing that event, which is really, really exciting. And I guess the other great thing too about being involved with Festivals and Events Ontario is over the years, I've taken on more of a leadership role. So being the chair of the awards committee was something that I actually held quite a few years ago, back in about 2009, 2010, roughly. And then there was an opportunity to get back involved about 3 years ago. So I'm really happy to always make the time and be able to, contribute and be dedicated to FEO.
Yay. Well, we're glad to have you, Amanda. You've been a great asset for our association. I mean, you've been a great promoter and you've gotten involved, which is what I really like, is you've gotten involved with us, which, I encourage everybody to somehow get involved. Even just doing these Tuesday talks, your involvement here is so important. So, yeah, excellent. So, why the awards program? Why did you get involved with awards? How did you jumpstart that?
Yeah, so I think a lot of it had to do with, talking to some of the big festivals and events leaders early on in my career, like I had said, and just recognizing the benefits of the awards program. And I think collectively, as we are able to build our industry and make it stronger and better, and to give more experiences to the visitor and to the guests at our festivals and events, it makes sense that those event planners and the industry suppliers should be recognized for that. So for me, I think the awards program is just a perfect fit to covering everything that happens in FEO. So there's the marketing element, which I love. There's the networking part, which I think is so important. There's strengthening our industry and supporting our industry suppliers. And then there's the volunteer recognition, which is really the backbone of every single event that happens in communities, regardless of the size. of the city or the town. So it covers a lot of different things that I'm really passionate about. And with FEO and the awards program, it's always been very consistent. And I just love being part of that. And it's a good way to get to know all these different events and festivals. And like I said, really reconnect with our industry suppliers too.
Nice. So because you've been involved with us for a while, you've seen the evolution of our awards program. And for the last few years, you've been on the committee and helped to mold what it's going to look like. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the evolution of it as you remember it.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely, pre-COVID, the events awards program was very strong. Many of the people on this call know of the top 100. They really see the, year after year, those festivals and events getting recognized as being one of the top premier events to attend, regardless of whether it's spring, summer, or fall and winter events. It's year round, and I think it's just such a huge breadth of recognition, because there is 100 different events that are recognized. And part of that evolution also included the level of distinction, which those events are assigned, so there's not the judging and competition element. But what is really great is when we recognize those level of distinction festivals, that's anyone with over $1 million as a budget. So think Kitchener-Waterloo Oktoberfest or Ottawa Blues Fest, Luminato. When those festivals are included with our top 100 award winners, you can really see the strength of our industry and how much we have to offer to guests and visitors in Ontario. So that's a huge part of the evolution. I think another great part is how the Achievement Awards have evolved and changed over the years. So now we have over a dozen different categories, and they've, really adapted to changing times. Now there are award winners for greening of the festivals and that environmental impact component. We have achievement awards for social media campaigns. So we took that marketing component and split it out even more to include recognizing events that have a strong social media campaign or social media following. And then the other key part to the evolution was, at one point we only recognized 1 or 2 volunteers. And now our volunteer award category, again, is so much bigger, because you can include volunteer of the year, and there's even family awards, which is really exciting, because we all know that it takes a whole family, usually is committed to helping make these events successful. So those, I think, are some of the big evolutions. And I think the other key part is just how FEO has evolved in the marketing and the benefits of being an award winner. So, that has also really developed over the years. Now there is the recognition for industry suppliers during our industry luncheon, and then they can actually promote that at Marketplace. We have a huge, beautiful gala, like kudos to the staff and volunteers with FEO for the conference team, because that gala night is just so beautiful. And it, again, has evolved year after year, and it's just gotten more and more beautiful. And it's a great honor to be recognized at that event. So there is quite a few, changes over the years, and I think it's all been for the better. And definitely some of the folks on this call could really appreciate, because they've been award winners, how the program has evolved over the years.
So Darren, so just let you know, I didn't know this, but Darren has been part of FEO for a couple of decades, at least 20, if not more, Darren, right? And he just put here, this year's the 20th anniversary of the Top 100 program. It was launched in Ottawa in 2001. Wow.
Wow.
20
Yeah.
years.
Wow. It started as a top 50, and then it evolved over the years to top 100 due to demand.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so we're going to have to do something to celebrate that for next year. Even though this year, I know you're going to touch on this, Amanda, we don't have top 100 this year, right? We're not
That's
doing
right.
that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, Darren brings brings up a huge point because it just goes to show you how long and long-lasting FEO has been around. You know, over 20 years of recognition for top 100, and prior to that, the top 50. That's a big jump, you know, for any event or festival. If you can make it past that 5-10 year time frame, and now we're entering into 20 years, I bet you if we go through our history, there's probably some recurring events and festivals that have been very successful at getting the recognition. So Darren, thanks for the reminder. That's a good point to make a note of.
And even the value of that top 50 or top 100, I remember the first year, the smaller festivals were screaming up and down because they were in the same company as Oktoberfest or Freedom Festival back in the day. And they go back to their communities and go to their councils and go, look, we're one of the top in the province. So it does, you know, give marketing abilities, but also just credibility to financial partners like municipalities.
Absolutely. And we're proud of that, and we try to promote that. That's, you know, one of the benefits of it. Post-COVID, my friend, here we are, post-COVID.
You know, I didn't
or post,
think we
like we're in the pandemic, so the awards have taken a different a turn.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite say we're post-COVID yet. I
No.
think though, you know, we're all on the right path trying to get out of this. And, you know, the creativity and passion from all of our event leaders across the province, whether it's municipal funders and the provincial funding partners, or it's independent event managers and our industry suppliers. You know, I see Kyle on here and Marnie, you know, just to be able to have them stay true to what they're able to commit to. I think that is unbelievable. During this past, you know, 21 months, I kind of joke now that it's, you know, over 20 months, we have been able to see so many of our FEO members still manage to keep those creative juices flowing and have held in some regard either a live event, a virtual experience, or a hybrid of both. And it's really about keeping their audience, which may just be their local immediate community, entertained and engaged. And what I love about some of the festivals that are around my area is that they've really been able to keep that event at top of mind so that locals can still feel part of the community. And when the time is right to bring visitors back in, that they still have that brand recognition and that commitment to putting on these outstanding events. So for this year, Debbie, I can get right into the COVID application process for events that are happening during COVID. Excellent.
Sounds great. Yep.
Everybody on the call, I think Jay's going to put it into the chat function, but this is all available on festivalsandeventsontario.ca when you select on the awards program. So I'm not going to read off my screen because that's boring, but please refer to the website for the downloadable application form and the specific details that your event or industry leader will need to submit in order to be considered for the Achievement Awards. So that's the first big change, is we are just calling them Achievement Awards. Providing you are a member in good standing and you paid a membership either in 2020 or 2021, you'll be recognized, as well as if you have a completed application form, including any photos or logos that are asked of each of the categories. And the deadline, of course, is going to be Friday, January 7th, 2022. So as long as you have those 3 or 4 key components, you will be considered to have an Achievement Award at the upcoming 2022 conference. So what's really needed? So for the application process, there's 3 categories. We have festivals and events, industry service excellence, and our volunteer achievements. So with our festivals and events category, you must have submitted your event, you must have hosted your event in this past calendar year. So January 1st, 2021 until December 31st, 2021. And again, it can be any combination of having a festival or event. We kept the definitions really easy. So it can be a live event, a hybrid, or a virtual experience. You could do it just for like that couple hours in the afternoon, or a video compilation, or put on your full-on festival. We're really open to any opportunity to celebrate how you kept your event alive in 2021. And with the application form, there's just a brief description of about 500 words, just to tell us and the team here at FEO, so we can have something to reference. How did you adapt? How did you evolve? And how did you keep your festival and event top of mind in your community? And then include with your application 3 photos that we'll use as part of our video leading up to the announcements happening at the gala. So the second category is the industry service excellence. So again, the same idea, you have to be a member in good standing in 2020 or 2021, and you must have been operating during this current calendar year. So simply download the application form. Tell us how you were able to keep your industry, to keep your business moving forward in this industry. So think about how you adapted your products. Perhaps you were a supplier that you had to supply during these COVID times. So you were able to change the way you were able to do something in order to meet the COVID protocols. Perhaps you provided more assistance to municipalities and the private sector, things like fencing or barricades or creating PPE, things like that. If you were previously an entertainer or you always did live events, were you able to pivot, that magic word that we always said, but were you able to pivot and create a virtual experience for your followers to really, feel a part of whatever you had previously done? So I'm thinking, Kyle, I'm looking at you, or some of our magicians that have been part of FEO for a long time, or the entertainers and performers who hosted virtual concerts and virtual kind of shows. So things like that, we really want to see that information in your application. And then the third category, like I've said so many times, and I think we can all agree, our volunteers are truly at the heart of every event and festival in Ontario. We would not be able to do anything without the dedication and commitment from our volunteers. So it was really important to our awards committee and to FEO that we continue to recognize our volunteers, even at a time like COVID, when they could have chosen not to be involved in the community or not to still be that much present. So we think it's very important that the volunteer award continues. This is for any festival and event you can submit on behalf of your volunteer, and it's either for an individual or for a family. So again, we've kept it very simple, and we'd like to be able to recognize all of the hard work and the commitment that that volunteer has put in. So again, the application form is fairly straightforward. It asks for 500 words to tell us about your volunteer, the superstar that they are. And then just submit that with a headshot or a photo of your volunteer in action. And then we'll be able to create a recognition and a video compilation of that too. So just to recap, we have 3 pillars: the industry service excellence, the festivals and events, and then the volunteer achievement. All of the application forms are on our website at festivalsandeventsontario.ca. And then you can email your completed application form and your photos or logo directly to Pinky. She's the office administrator, and her details are listed on the website. Debbie, did I catch it all off?
I think you did, but I see Dave has unmuted himself and wants to add to this. So,
Perfect.
Hi, Dave.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Yeah, and I just wanted to thank Amanda and her team for the great work they do every year. Just 2 things I wanted to point out. Number 1 is the other award that we had a few nominations last year, and we've got a couple for this year already, but for the Hall of Fame. And we had decided to put the Hall of Fame on hold until we got together again live in person, because we figure it's an award that should be presented in front of your peers and stuff, and we wanted to wait for that opportunity. So hopefully we'll get to do that this year. So if anybody has Hall of Fame nominations, make sure you get those in. The other thing I wanted to just talk about briefly, and it sort of bounces off what Darren was talking about, you know, as I travel around to from municipality to municipality or different festivals, you know, it's always great to walk in the front door and see, you know, a wall full of FEO awards or the trophies and they really do mean a lot. And, you know, we get people every year after the awards, well, how come we're not in the top 100 again like that? And I think some people just think that we just give those out. I mean, it is a process. It's an application process, and the awards are really adjudicated. I know I sat on the committee a couple of times, and it's quite the process. So, you know, it's one thing on our end is we want to make sure that we're not just handing these things out flippantly, that there is value in them. And I even had a call from Sudbury, who one of their glass statues fell off a shelf and broke, and a councillor or a mayor walked by and said, "Hey, what happened to that FEO award?" Like, you know, and they explained that it was broken, and they said, "Well, can you find out if we can get another one?" Because it should be up there prominently. So, you know, and the other one I always get, and it's more in the north, but you know, you see on some street signs, they'll have we're a top 100 FEO member on there, you know, welcome to Sudbury or welcome to Perry Sound or wherever it is. So it's really neat driving around the province and seeing that, you know, while it's a process for all of us and it's something we do every year, it really does mean things to the community and to the festivals who are the recipients of the award. So again, Amanda and team, thank you very much from all of us for everything you guys do.
Thanks, Dave. That's really appreciated. And I'll make sure I share that with our awards volunteer committee. I'm going to touch on the judging right now, and then we'll jump into a video to kind of highlight some of the marketing benefits that come from being an award. But Dave, you bring up a great point, and that's also part of the evolution, is how the judging process has changed over the years. And my commitment as the chair of the awards committee has always been to create a transparent process. So we do that by doing a call out for volunteers to come and sit and do the actual judging of the applications. So for the top 100 pre-COVID, that was always a full day, thanks to so many of our volunteers. There's usually about 8 to 10 people, and we go through all of the binders and all of the material that is submitted, and we're able to use, we have a score sheet, we take notes, we can give feedback if there's questions about why an event did not get to be a top 100, or if they were a top 100, we also like to share some of the reasons why they were selected to be in that prestigious listing. So I think that is something that has definitely changed. I really strongly believe in transparent organizations. That's a value of mine personally, and being the awards chair, I do really push that through. And the other kind of key part that we implemented about 4 years ago is a declaration that judges sign off on if we have a perceived, what would be a good word for it?
Bias?
We call it pecuniary interest in municipal government, but I know it's not that. It's kind of like a conflict of interest. So, for example, I personally sign off and declare that I will not judge events that Clearview Township funds. And also, I've been very fortunate to work and volunteer closely with some of the other big events in the province. So I make sure on that declaration that I'm not part of the judging process for those. And I know my fellow judges also do that. So that was an important document we put into place just to make sure that we were declaring any conflict ahead of time so that the judging stayed transparent and that we can be as neutral as possible. So that's a little bit on the judging, and I just wanted to put that out there so everyone knows the process. As for the current achievement awards, it is a very simple application. We're not,
Amanda, can
we're
we
not
go back to
judging.
judging just for a quick set?
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt. I
Yeah,
just want
jump
to
in.
go back to judging so that we can close that off.
Mhm.
The judges are also people from the industry and from media. Like, I just want you to talk about who the actual judges are, as opposed to, they're not all they're not all festival planners.
No, not at all. Thanks, Debbie. Yeah, that's a very good point. It comes from a wide cross section of individuals who are involved with festivals and events, but also, yes, like we've had media in the past, we've had representatives from the ministry in the past. There's definitely been, some high profile people who have helped out, and then also some that are just neutral and they just see the value in being, donating their time. It is, a full day for the top 100. So, donating your time. That is something though that in a normal year, usually Debbie, you would send out a call to recruit some volunteers, and I'm often on the phone as well, trying to find some volunteers to help us out. But we do try to make sure that there's event planners, industry leaders of municipalities or government officials, plus media and those other partners that we have around the table, so that it really is a true representation of the festivals and events industry.
Yeah, I just wanted to make that note because, I mean, it's FEO staff is not involved in any way, shape, or form. So I just wanted to make that clear that, we abstain from everything and
Absolutely. Yeah. So the FEO staff are not involved. And then the awards committee, we don't make any changes once the recommendations and the score sheets are submitted for tabulation. Those scores are the ones that are put forward. So there's no sidebar conversations that happen after the judging takes place. And again, over the last few years that I've been involved, I really think that we have strengthened that to make it more transparent and to make sure that everyone gets judged fairly. And then if there are questions, by all means, I'm available to answer those by email. Debbie often gets those questions directly, and then they can filter down to a committee member if necessary. So, yeah. So it's really an important part of the process.
Great. I just wanted to have that clarity on that. So
absolutely. Mm-hmm. So I think at this point, if I can ask Jay, we're going to show you a video of some of the Achievement Award winners last year, so you can get a sense of how you're recognized for the Achievement Awards. Again, this will be a very similar process to this year's Achievement Awards because we're still in this COVID application, and hopefully in future years we can go back to the traditional way of having all the awards. But at this point, Jay, if I can have you do the video compilation.
That's so exciting. I get pumped up when I see that.
Me too. So exciting. Thank you.
And
thanks so much.
yeah, and people should know that we have that on our website. We have that on. We promote it to everybody. Jay sends out an announcement to the media of who gets that. I don't know if you touched on that, Amanda. I can't remember, but we do a lot of promotion of the winners, and that's one of the ways that we do that. So.
Yeah, and I think this year, especially with doing the videos and having them available online and pushing them out to social media, it's so easy to tag our festivals and our industry achievement award winners. So that was a great way. I know we also did email certificates so that you could actually have those posted. To Dave's point, you know, when you walk into so many offices or municipal township offices, you can see all the awards. Mine are behind me. I know I have my screen up right now, but you know, it's just such a great way to have that recognition. And you know, some of the other marketing benefits are, you know, being able to call your event an award-winning festival or an award-winning event. The importance of, you know, as an industry, being a strong, recognizable supplier, and you know, being able to give back to the communities that that you operate in or that your business is located in. So those are huge things. Like Dave had mentioned, you know, I drive through lots of different communities who have been named the Municipality of the Year or the City of the Year. And it's great to see those big billboards the years that they've happened. So folks like the town of Collingwood and the town of Amherstburg have both put up billboards that say that they have been a municipal festival or municipality of the year. And then, you know, for my industry suppliers, a few that I know personally, they keep their awards on their desk or they use them right at the marketplace. So when we have the return of the in-person conference coming up at the end of February and leading into March, it's great to have those glass awards right there on their tabletop. So, and I guess the last part too, which was announced yesterday, is the Festivals and Events Ontario 2022 conference coming up at Niagara Falls. And all award winners, fingers crossed, thanks Dave, I guess we should do a little asterisk still about COVID protocols. But, you know, always on the night of the gala, that is our time to celebrate with our colleagues and the people that we just admire so much in the industry. We are able to recognize the Hall of Fame inductees. Again, there's quite a few on this call. And one thing that has changed, again, when we talk about that evolution, is award winners get a really lovely letter from FEO, basically saying that we encourage you to attend the gala. We really want you to be there. So buy your tickets, invite the mayor, invite special guests, because
invite your sponsors. Like if you apply for
sponsors.
Yeah. And sponsors, we've had sponsors at the gala and they have been so appreciative of the recognition and the excitement, because it really is exciting. We did have a lot of fun at our conference. Yeah, Dave.
Me too.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Dave.
I just wanted to jump in and give a really big shout out to Jay and the work he does on those videos. You know, since Jay joined our team, and for those of you that have been at the conferences in London and Richmond Hill, you know, the production work that goes into those award announcements has been over the top, and Jay's done just a fabulous job. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to Jay and all he does for those award videos and the presentation at the gala. Great work, Jay.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think the instant gratification that we get, like Jay and the FEO staff send out the press release right on the night of gala. So by the time Monday morning comes back and you're, you know, recovering from the FEO conference, your media partners are right there asking for follow-up questions or maybe getting some snapshots of our festivals and industry suppliers with their awards. So I think that is really, really valuable. And one thing that we can touch on a little bit more is just how involved the FEO staff are. They can provide some marketing assistance with helping you celebrate your achievement awards. So there's the promotional, the logos that you're an achievement award winner or top 100 award winner. They come in all sorts of formats, so you can use those on your website, on digital, on print, and then of course, in any other way that you can add that you're a top 100 or you're an achievement award winner. There is, of course, the website, like I mentioned, festivalsandeventsontario.ca. We have a list of past recipients on the website, but also the added value of being recognized as a top 100 means that you are highlighted on the website more frequently. And then, of course, if you have any other questions or ideas or suggestions, don't hesitate to reach out to the staff at FEO. So
Kyle
Debbie,
had a comment. We do have one other thing I want to cover, but I just want Kyle to talk about what I'm always putting Kyle types it in and then I ask him to read it.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead, Kyle.
Okay, it gives me something to read off after. That's fine. But I just wanted to mention that, for businesses or organizations that don't have a brick or mortar location for people to visit where they can see that wall of awards, it does add a huge amount of credibility and a big boost for your marketing to display that award-winning logo on your marketing or on your website. It shows that you really are a standout organization.
Yeah, and
Perfect, yeah.
even I just want to add to that for those of you who, the festival and event world really get excited about this. But if you're a supplier, there's just a lot of mileage you can get if you win an award. And I have seen our members, if they win Best Entertainer or Best Supplier of the Year, they are just marketing it like crazy and putting their logos on their marketing material and their social media. I get emails. So I think it's a really great opportunity for everyone. And I really strongly encourage our industry suppliers, because I'll be honest with you, the suppliers are kind of my little, it sounds weird, but my pet project. I'm very protective of our suppliers and our trade show and making sure that they get the recognition that they so well deserve. But they need to put an application in. It's not given that they're going to get recognized. So, and I see some of our suppliers, like there's Kyle, who's been with us for quite a few years. He puts awards in. Sue from the World Event Center is a new member, so she qualifies to do that. There's Robertson Amusements. You all qualify as long as you're a member. Lord Varma from CanFM, you all qualify to submit an award for your industry supplier and what you have done to transform your company, but also to help your community. So that's a plug for me, trying to encourage because our festivals are so into this, and I think our industry suppliers need a bit of a push. So your members, you're good. And one other thing, if you're not sure if you're a paid member, you can reach out to me and I can update you on that and give you that information. And if you're not, we can make that happen. Pinky and I can get an invoice out to you or point you right into the direction of how to pay online. So I just wanted to add that.
Perfect. Thanks, Debbie. Yeah, those are really good points. And, you do definitely speak about industry suppliers. I have worked with some of them my entire career. I'll do an endorsement as a quick shout out to Impact Canopy. I remember meeting Adam Key at one of the very first conferences I attended. And, I basically have more or less purchased every canopy I've ever needed in 15 years from Impact. So we do have a huge amount of suppliers that have been longstanding and are always there to support the industry. So I'd like to have Jay queue up the Service Awards video, because as much as we did the compilation for all of the festivals and events, I think on this note, Debbie, we give a huge amount of recognition to our industry suppliers. So let's get Jay to play that video, and then we can answer any other questions afterwards.
Sounds great. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. Thanks so much. And, you know, one of the opening suppliers that was listed was OLG, and I definitely need to make sure that we recognize them again as coming on board as our sponsor for the events, or sorry, the sponsor of the awards program. So once
Except
again,
the industry suppliers.
except the industry suppliers. So the
Yes.
achievement awards for, that is right. All part of that transparency, right?
Yes, yes.
So a huge congratulations to having a sponsor come on board again. So OLG with the Achievement Awards for festivals and events, and the Achievement Awards for volunteers. So I think at this point, Debbie, I've covered a lot of information. I've done a lot of talking. Do we want to open it up if there's any
Well,
other
let's
questions?
ask. I have one more question for you. Carrie had a question. Carrie, did you want to ask it, or did you just, I'll read it, or come on board? Yay. Thanks, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie. So
Hi,
good to see
Amanda.
your friendly face. Hello.
I was just wanted to confirm if a municipality who has several events or festivals through the year, can they apply for the top 100 for the different events that they do put on, or do they need to focus on just one?
Nope. So they can make an application for different events, providing that they're the primary host. That's correct, right, Debbie? So
Yeah.
it's not, you can't apply on behalf. We had some, unusual situations where municipalities would apply on behalf of, let's say, the Kinsman Club or something along the Rotary Club. You cannot, if that's the primary host of the event, it has to be the municipality.
Perfect. Thank
But
you.
yes.
And they have to be the member. Yeah. So that's why you need to be the host. You have to be the member that is hosting that event. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Carrie and I worked together, by the way. I'm not going to say how long ago that was, but we have known each other for a very long time.
That's the beauty about this world.
Thank you, Amanda.
Right?
You're welcome,
You
Carrie.
didn't age us.
Diana has a question.
Yes, hi everybody. Thank you for this. Super interesting. Just to clarify on the being a member in order to put in the nomination, is that being a member and putting in the nomination, or you had to have been a member while you did your event in 2021?
Great question. So for this year, it's a member in good standing. So you've paid your membership fee for either the 2020 membership year or the current membership year, which is 2021. And only the events in the calendar year of 2021 are considered for the Achievement Awards for this year. So we are, we're really cognizant of the financial impact that COVID has had on all sizes of organizations, not just small ones, but even the big ones. So we wanted to make sure that there was no hindrance with having a membership in good standing, but you must have been paid either in 2020 or in 2021. And I would encourage anyone on the call to pay for their membership. It's at a discounted rate. Debbie, if I'm not mistaken, it's at 50% discounted rate.
For membership, yeah.
For membership, yeah. So we've definitely tried to make it affordable.
Yeah, the FEO, the promo code is FEO 5022 when you go to register. But Diana is a member. She just registered recently. So, but for anybody who's on here who wants to take advantage of the promo, it's FEO 5022 when you register online. And I just want to say, like, there's and somebody else had another question, but if you've just this week or just this month or last month where you became a member, you still qualify to put an award submission in. So I just want to make that, promote that as well, because I see some new suppliers here and some that have only been around for a year who can apply. And some of our festivals here who've, recently just joined us or have been here for a long time. So yeah, as long as you're a member in good standing this year, you're good. And I will say, a member in good standing, if you realize that you haven't paid your membership and the submission is January 7th, and we realize that you haven't paid your membership this year, I mean, if you pay it January 5th, you'll be okay, correct?
You're in good standing.
Amanda? You're in good standing. So.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to jump in and thank Destination Ontario for helping us with the membership and enabling us to offer the 50% discount.
Yes.
Because without their donation, we wouldn't have been able to do it. So thank you very much to Destination Ontario.
Thanks,
That's
Dave.
great.
Thanks, Dave.
I think there's one more question from Gilbert from Fan Expo. I don't know if he wants to jump on. Gilbert, yep. Did you want to jump on?
I do. Hi. Hello, Amanda.
Hi.
Thank you very much for the great presentation. Look forward to participating in the awards. In the awards. My question is, and perhaps can correct me, perhaps if I've misread it or didn't see it on the website. But do you have a Give Back award for those that have contributed from a cause, charitable, societal, or community impact beyond just the festival and events ecosystem?
We actually don't. It could be something we could consider, but no, I'm not aware of a category or a recognition like that. Debbie, have we ever done anything like that in the past?
Not that I'm aware of. I've been here for a few years, but it's a great idea, Gilbert. I think it's something we should consider. And you know what? For those of you like Gilbert, if you have any ideas for awards, I mean, we've tossed around People's Choice Awards. We just don't know how to execute it at this point. That's not going to cost us, that's not going to cost us an arm and a leg. But if you do have any ideas, you can shoot them over to Amanda or myself or Jay, and, we'll look at them for next year.
I'm thinking because, obviously the pandemic has caused a lot of devastation and hardship for so many people. And there's been a lot of, underserved communities and situations that have been caused by this devastation that, there's a lot of companies out there that are doing good in the industry, and it really is about the community that we serve. So just something to consider for future events, and happy to lend my support in any way I can.
Wonderful, thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah, I do know with that, Gilbert, I know that Oktoberfest used to, and Dave and Jacob probably talked to this, used to support the food bank, and the parade, they used to collect coins down the parade, and they haven't been able to do that for a couple of years. So, yeah.
Yeah, those are really great suggestions. Thank you. So I think just in closing, Debbie, if there's no other questions, I look forward.
I just have one.
Oh, one more.
I keep forgetting to get to this one. Do you have any suggestions on planning the awards? We were talking about that earlier, like planning, like not waiting to the last week.
Yeah. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. You're right. We did talk about it a couple meetings ago. For me, I build in the award process into my task list for the event that I'm working on. So Small Halls Festival, starting, in April, May, I start compiling. I have a file on my desktop that I start putting in clippings from newspapers, or I put in examples of things that I've been working on that would really supplement and help create a comprehensive top 100 application. The awards program hasn't changed that significantly in terms of what judges are looking for. So the earlier you can start thinking about the award process, the better. And I would just say start including that in your critical path for how you manage your event. And it does go a long way, because then you're putting in that time throughout the year, as opposed to waiting until the night before the deadline. And I can assure you, looking at lots of events, you can really tell the people who have put the time and energy into really good applications than those that have really tried to rush it. So the quality of the content is more important than the quantity of the content. So just keep that in mind as well. In one day, we can only read through so much. So just giving us the best quality and the best examples of the type of award you're applying for really helps. But definitely, if I can give one piece of advice, start thinking about your awards and becoming a top 100 festival as soon as you start the planning and execution of your actual event. And then same goes for the industry suppliers. Throughout the year, if you get recognition from, other organizations like a Chamber of Commerce, keep that newspaper clipping or that photo or that snapshot, screenshot of a social media post. If you get a special thank you card or an email that really acknowledges you going the extra mile, keep a copy of that, because those types of references and anecdotal kind of letters of support really go a long way when you're making your application. So thanks for reminding me, because you're right.
Yeah, not a problem. I just wanted to add to that even though that's why it's so important for everybody to put the effort in, because you may have won 5 years in a row and 1 year you didn't put the effort in, and that could be the year that that somebody did and just had that one extra point or two extra points to drive you to be ahead of you in the awards judging. So just something to think about. And I know it's a lot of work, I do, but just so that, there's no disappointments, really.
Exactly. It seems like it's a lot of work, but I also think over the years, we've tried to make the process a lot more easier, so that we're really only asking the questions that are pertinent to the award that you're applying for. And, to go back to this year's 2022 application process, it's a one-pager, because we know that everybody's workload and their bandwidth is just maxed out. So we didn't want to make this a hindrance. We want to recognize all of our events and our industry and our volunteers who were able to continue doing things throughout 2021. So I would really strongly encourage people just to start early, make those applications. The deadline is January 7th, but don't wait till the new year. You can send those in to Pinky directly on her email at any time between now and January 7th.
That's all my questions.
Awesome. Well, thank you. So I look forward to seeing everybody in Niagara Falls. Fingers crossed that we'll be able to execute an in-person conference, but the conference dates are February 28th to March 2nd. All the information is on the website, including registering and your hotel rooms. So I really strongly hope to see everybody. And most importantly, let's have a glass of wine at the gala night.
Absolutely. I agree. Thank you so much, Amanda, for doing this with us. Really, it was really informative. Thank you, Dave, for all your comments, and everyone for your contributions. Jabir and Kyle and Diana and Carrie, thank you so much for your input. Remember to get your awards in and to join us next week. Next week is just all about fun. It's it's looking a lot like holidays. So wear your ugly sweater, do your your Lego design, and we have some awards. We have some pretty fantastic awards. So, and let's have some fun. So there's going to be entertainment, there's going to be singing, there's going to be Santa Claus, and pretty excited about it. So come, if you have kids and you're at home, have them come on board with us. So thank you, everyone. And if I don't see you, have a great holiday, Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2022. But I hope to see you
Thank
next
you,
week.
everyone. Thank you. Happy holidays.
Bye. Happy
Thanks.
holidays, everyone.